wasn't the prettiest of wins, but it's the Browns. What's pretty when the Browns are around? The Chargers got it done, though. They beat the Browns 30-27 to get to 2-2 on the season. It almost didn't happen. The game almost went to overtime. Josh Lambo kicked a field goal as time expired. He missed, but there was a penalty on the Browns. He was able to kick again, and he made it that time, and the Chargers won the game. Now, after the game, Lambo was asked, hey, what happened on that first attempt? He said, sometimes you miss. He said he was very grateful for that second chance, and you know that's going to stick with him for a while, just the thought of what if, had they gone to overtime and then lost the game. This is a game that featured a lot of injuries, which has been somewhat of a theme for the Chargers this season. They came in with a crippled O-line, already missing 3 starters. DJ Fluker after the game saying that he's at about 75%. You could see the pain on his face. And then they lose Malcolm Floyd with a concussion. They lose Stevie Johnson with a hamstring injury. So they start running out of wide receivers like they ran out of offensive linemen. They had big plays from Danny Woodhead and Dontrell Inman. They had touchdowns from John Phillips and Ladarius Green. So they had guys step up, but you got to wonder what that trickle-down effect will be if those guys are more seriously injured than we know. Now, Philip Rivers put this one best. He called it scrappy and big. He said that they had all the characteristics to win, but they didn't always play that great. And I think that sums it up best. They had a pretty slow start in the first half. They went into halftime tied. They were able to get more going in the second half. The defense, they were able to get more pressure on the quarterback. He only had 1 sack in the first 3 games, 4 sacks in this game alone. 2 of them coming off of Melvin Ingram and 2 of them coming off Jerry Atauchu. Atauchu told me after the game, look, we don't really care about the numbers. We care that we're getting pressure. We're making the quarterback feel uncomfortable. We were able to get consistent pressure today. But they also allowed some big plays, especially from Duke Johnson and Isaiah Crowell. So that's something John Pagano has been preaching is they're doing all right, and then they allow this huge play that changes the trajectory of the game. So they've got to stop that going forward. Philip Rivers called this game big. Eric Weddle called it big. Danny Woodhead called it big. It wasn't like the season was over if they lost the game, but the taste of 1-3 and mentally the thought of 1-3, it's not that easy to swallow. So for them to get to 2-2 leaves them with a lot better of a taste in their mouth and a lot more confidence going forward. Speaking of which, they get a big guy back on October 5th, Antonio Gates. He'll be able to play in Monday night's game against the Steelers. They are all very much looking forward to getting him back, getting his presence around the team, and also, of course, what he can do on the field. Rivers said after the game, it's like getting a Hall of Fame free agent in the middle of the season. So it's an exciting time for them. They'll be able to do a lot with Gates coming back, and it's very much needed. We don't know the severity of Malcolm Floyd or Stevie Johnson, but with wide receivers going down one after one, Antonio Gates coming back, it's a big deal. From Mighty1090.com, I'm Heilbrunn.